Future TV. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again we're coming at you live from deep, deep, deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future, not necessarily those and not necessarily in that order. So today I would like to talk a little bit about the future. In fact, the future when it comes to cars. So I was taking my kids out to give them a test drive the other day. They both have their learner's permits and they're learning how to drive right now. And I had a conversation with them afterwards, and I said, you know what, you guys, I'll bet you anything that you will be the last generation that will need to learn how to drive. That's right, your kids probably won't need to know how to drive. If you look at the advances in autonomous vehicles, I'll bet you anything, but the next time you go into your dealership to buy a car or to lease a car, because we all know that no one ever buys cars anymore. I mean, why would you buy a car? A car is like a consumer electronic. You have to replace it every couple of years because the technology changes so much. So the next time you go in to lease a car, they'll probably ask you, hey, do you want autonomous? You want an autonomous option? And you'll go, well, what's that? Well, basically it'll drive itself. You just type in your destination and the car will just basically take over and take you from point A to point B, and you won't even have to do anything. You know, at first you might say to yourself, oh, I don't know if I want that, but then you add it because you think to yourself, well, wouldn't it be great if I could do something other than drive while I'm driving? If I could do like check my emails or get on the phone and not have to worry about getting into an accident. So you sign up for it, and then you realize that this autonomous thing is pretty damn cool. I mean, you put in all the information and the car drives itself. You never need to touch the steering wheel, the gas, or the accelerator. Wait a minute, the gas or the brake. And you think to yourself, well, this is great. I can check my email, I can read, I can do all sorts of things. So the next time you go in to buy a car, say 3 to 6 years later, you'll say, well, you know what? Autonomy will probably be a standard because that's what the federal government will mandate. They'll say, you know what? This autonomous vehicle thing is pretty good. Look at the differences in the fatalities with people driving cars and how many fatalities in autonomous vehicles, which are 0. And they'll say, you know, we need to mandate autonomy in all these vehicles. Eventually, maybe 5 or 10 years later, they'll say to themselves, look, do we really need to have human beings behind the wheel? Look at how many accidents are being caused by human beings behind the wheel. I say we ban driving. And I'm sure it'll be passed by the majority of the House because they love telling us what to do. But I digress. So maybe not the next generation, but our grandkids will not need to know how to drive. Autonomous vehicles will be the order of the day, and they won't look the same as the vehicles that we have today at all. I mean, they'll be more like living rooms on wheels. They'll have little coffee tables, they'll have little TVs. You won't even need to look out the window anymore. In fact, they might be completely enclosed with no windows whatsoever and just have beautiful HD screens on the inside. Who knows what could happen? But I'm telling you something. I'm 100% sure that within 20 years, within the next generation, we're going to see all these autonomous vehicles on the road. As a matter of fact, do you remember in the Star Trek reboot where you see James T. Kirk as a kid drive his stepdad's Mustang off the cliff? You're not going to see that because driving will have been outlawed for 10 generations by that time. So I got to say that, you know, the predictions in that film weren't 100% accurate. Anyways, so better enjoy your time behind the wheel because it's numbered. Your grandkids won't need to know how to drive. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.